In my last video, I showed you how I made a animation standing desk like this one behind me. And today what I want to show you is how to make your own icons that you hand draw so that you can have them on your tablet so you get easy access to when you want to hit those buttons and you can see what those shortcuts are. So that's what we're going to do on today's episode of the Expat Animator. Hey, it's Patrick. Welcome to my Expat Animator series, where I try and help beginners, hobbyists, and independent animators create 2D animations. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch over here to my other screen, and I'm just going to walk you through these 9 steps to go ahead and make your own icons for your tablet. So here is my photo of my tablet, and you can see I've got some icons on the left side of the tablet. And I kind of programmed what I wanted in these areas. And so I'm going to show you, the first thing you need to do is you need to decide on your shortcuts. Then you need to find some icons. So I just went to Google, and for instance, the first icon will be scissors. So we're just going to type scissor icon. And I'm just going to take a screenshot of this so that we have it for quick access on my desktop. And once you've got that screenshot, the next step is we're going to trace or draw the icon. So let's bring it into Rough Animator. I'm going to import that image of the screenshot. And once we've got that in, I'm going to do a couple of things. So we're going to place it down. I'm just going to quickly rename this scissors, and then I'm going to make a new layer on top. And that's the layer I'm going to be tracing on top of. So let's go ahead and just call that drawing for now. And let's take the opacity down on the scissor icon layer, and we're going to make sure we're on the drawing layer, and go ahead and grab our brush, and we're just going to trace on top of that. So it's kind of going to be your own drawing, and make sure you've got black, not orange there for your color palette, and just trace this image. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and it kind of looks cool, and it's got that hand-drawn line effect to the drawing. And you know, these are going to be simple icons, so they're not going to take you that long to draw. And I'm just going to grab my bucket tool, fill it in with black, and let's take the opacity down on the original icon, and I'm going to export that image as a PNG sequence, and that's going to give me transparent background. Where the white is, it's going to be transparent. And just make sure we've got transparent background checked, and we're going to save that out to the desktop. And we're going to need to do that 8 more times in my case, or 7 more times. There's the PNG image, and then we want to invert that image. So the quickest way to do that is we can use either Photoshop, or today I'm going to use Affinity Photo. And we just want to go up to layer, and we want to invert that. And now it takes every black pixel and turns it white. And then we can go ahead and we can export that as a PNG, and we can export that to our desktop. I'm going to call this scissors white, so I know the difference between the old black scissors and these white scissors. And let's save it to the desktop, and there we go. And remember, you're going to have to do this for all your drawings. So step 5 is we need to go measure your actual tablet. So grab your ruler and measure it. Usually, I'm going to use centimeters here because it's good for small sizes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in to, let me pause this real quick. I'm going to use InDesign because I use InDesign a lot. So I'm very familiar with how to use the program. Something like Illustrator would work for this, or there's probably a lot of programs you could use to do this step, but I'm just going to show you pretty quickly how I did this in InDesign. So this page is, I pre-built this to show you, this is how I want my images to, these are going to be the shapes of my buttons for my specific tablet. So everybody's tablets can be different. That's why the measuring step is important. You want to measure the size of the buttons, and then you want to make sure you've got that gap measured in between. So let's go ahead and take another look at how I did this. So you can see that first button area is 2 centimeters by 1.57 centimeters. So let's go ahead, and if you just click on the box here and click one time on the canvas, you can type in the dimensions for the box and hit OK. And there you've got your first box. So let's go ahead and give it some color here. Move it into the center. Actually, I'm going to outline it for now. And then we just need to repeat this box 7 more times. So let's hold Option key down, and we're going to drag it down, snap into place, and we're just going to do this for the top 4 buttons. And then I'm going to take these top 4, copy them, hold Option down, and make our second 4. And then we just need to make sure we've got our dimensions on that space in the middle there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my measuring tool, measure the distance that I need in between those buttons, and then I'm going to move those bottom 4 buttons down to the appropriate distance. So, this is why it's important for that measuring step. And once you've got these 8 boxes laid out in the appropriate dimensions, then we can go in and start bringing in our 8 images that we made. And so I'm going to go ahead and change these to fill with black and select the first box. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in that first image. So let's go File, Place, and go find that white scissors image that we made and bring that in. And you'll see what happened there. Well, we need to hit this button here, and then it brings the scale of the image down to that size of that box. So we're going to do that 7 more times, and I'm not going to show you that right now. I'm just going to show you how once we've got all our images in, we also need to fill in this space with some black so that when we go to print this out, it's going to be one long black strip. Okay, so now I brought in all of my 8 drawings here, and I'm just going to delete that original page that used as an example. And now I've got this one page, and I'm just ready to print it. So go ahead and use your printer, get this thing printed out, and then we're going to be ready for the next step. So step 6 is we're going to print that page out. Get your page, and very quickly here we're going to move on to step 7, which is going to be, we're going to take some scissors and we're going to cut that out. So you know how to do that. Step 8, we're going to tape that cut out piece onto our actual tablet. And if we did our measuring correctly, when we tape this down, the buttons are going to line up exactly next to the shortcut keys that we want. Step 9, we're going to program our shortcut keys, and I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so to program your shortcut keys, you want to launch the software that comes with your tablet. In my case, that's XP Pen I'm using right now. Go to your shortcut keys, and you'll see that I've got 8 keys here on the left that I need to program. So the first key says K1, so I go to K1, and I would just customize that to whatever I had for my drawing on my icons that we just printed out. And after you've got all 8 or however many buttons are on your tablet done, then I would just double check up here in the application. You can add specific applications, like we could add Rough Animator here and have these specific to Rough Animator. I like to just keep these universal, so it doesn't matter what app I'm in, they're kind of always going to do the same thing. But that's another option you have there. Just remember, when you're done, you can hit OK to save those changes, and you'll see here, configuration saved. And that's it. You can then close your software, and you're ready to go with your new programmable buttons on your tablet. Well, so hopefully those icons, the steps helped you make your own icons for your tablet. And hopefully you'll enjoy using them as much as I do. I like looking at my tablet and kind of seeing my own little drawing there. It just makes it quicker for me to know which button I need to hit. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Patrick Davidson. This has been another episode of the Expat Animator. And remember to keep on animating.